Eggs.
How do you have your eggs in the morning? Boiled, fried, pickled, poached, fully grown, or cake? These spiky shelled protein ovals have been part of human diets for thousands of years, and we're still finding new, interesting ways to serve them up.
Eggs.
The ever-versatile egg is one of the most universally recognized items on Earth, so there's no point in anyone spending money to promote them, right? Wrong! The egg industry, or as I call them, Big Egg, have spent decades and millions of dollars convincing you that it's perfectly natural to choke down their salmonella-ridden chicken abortions. And that's what this episode is all about. Eggs. And the people who sell them.
Eggs, 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 eggs.
British people love eggs, and not just because they remind us of our future king's empty brain container. But it wasn't always like this. In 1956, Britain was still reeling from World War II. The whole country was in enormous debt, and thanks to wartime bombing campaigns, large chunks of London were filled with more jagged, broken pieces than the average British gun line. And our pale but plucky population had made do by growing their own food, mending their own clothes, and generally doing it for themselves. Which was terrible. How are you supposed to build a modern consumer economy if people aren't spaffing all their money on stuff that they don't need? The British egg industry in particular was suffering from a nationwide slump in sales, as many families were getting their eggs straight from the feather-covered egg dispenser they were keeping in their back garden. In order to save the industry, the government established the British Egg Marketing Board, or BEMB. They also printed a little red lion on them, which is something you can find on nearly all British eggs today. Egg. And to increase egg consumption, the BEMB spent £12 million funding a mind-scrambling campaign that promoted eggs as the best way to start every morning.
6 down, let's see, down. 4-letter word beginning with E and ending in S, a valuable food rich in protein.
Eggs.
I beg your pardon?
A valuable food rich in proteins is eggs.
It is not eggs, it is eels.
It is eggs.
The long-running advertisement centred on the same middle-aged couple whose love for eggs was only matched by their all-encompassing hatred for one another.
You've completely muddled me up. I'll have to start again now.
That's it. Start the day right with eggs.
Oh, this is hopeless. Look, I've gone right through the paper. It's your fault.
In a later, stranger campaign, the BEMB also funded the Egg Chicks, a group of extremists who'd knock on doors and reward egg-consuming families with premium bonds.
Of course, first thing in the morning, one often feels a bit egg-bound. Not really inclined to come out of one's shell to chat up a bird on the doorstep, even if she is the opposite of an old boiler.
And Britain wasn't the only country who was eager to encourage their population to choke down that egg every morning. Before World War II, eggs were an uncommon feature of Japanese diets. But after having 2 major cities fried by a pair of nuclear eggs, Japan spent the next decade fighting off food shortages, as well as the occasional Godzilla attack. The Japanese government promoted eggs as a reliable source of protein for their food-strapped population. And by the 1970s, eggs were as Japanese as Sailor Moon or seppuku. Meanwhile, in the United States, someone was cooking up a clutch of iconic egg commercials that would make America eggy again.
They're as fresh as the breeze.
Eggs come to you fresh every day.
Serve them any way you please.
This is the first commercial featuring the Incredible Edible Egg slogan, spearheaded by the American Egg Board, a shadowy cabal of egg industry insiders who collect funds from major egg producers and then promote the product in a generic way.
All you do is heat and eat.
Eggs don't run out.
The Incredible Edible Egg.
Similar campaigns include the California Milk Processor Board's classic Got Milk, or this brain stink from the American Pork Board.
Pork. The other white meat.
All these egg industry psyops campaigns have convinced us that it's completely natural to ingest something that comes out of a chicken's cloaca, a part of the chicken that triples as butt, vag, and egg dispensary. Since 1990, global egg consumption has more than doubled, and that's all thanks to the efficient wonders of battery farming and the fast food industry.
You say it again.
There's more in the middle of an egg McMuffin than an egg in the middle of a muffin.
McDonald's might be the worst thing to happen to the human gut since the tapeworm, but there's no denying their contribution to 20th century eggovation. In 1973, they launched the 63-cent Egg McMuffin, one of the most successful products to ever be launched under the Golden Arches.
It's Canadian bacon and cheese on a buttered English muffin, a tasty breakfast sure to please.
It was the frontline item for their new breakfast menu, bringing fast food to a receptive new market of hurried commuters, hungover college students, and of course the morbidly obese.
McDonald's
And who can blame them? Because McDonald's were experts at making eggs sexy. We slot a greasy DNA disc under a thick ham flap and then squeeze it between some hot English muff. Oh my god, I am loving it! But for some people, it's not enough that eggs are delicious. They also have to be ethical. The concept of free-range eggs was promoted by animal rights organisations in the early 90s, ensuring that egg-producing chickens would spend some time outside before they were ultimately threshed into nugget form. But the phrase free range has ended up becoming the egg industry's best ever marketing slogan. With the global demand for eggs all but assured, the only way that you can sell more of them is to steal customers away from your egg producing competitors. And as you're all essentially selling the same product, the only way you can do that is by convincing customers that your eggs are happy and their eggs are sad. Like in this commercial from England's Happy Egg Company, who sell free-range organic eggs made by a plucky all-female workforce. You go girls, #eggpowerment. Even the chicken threshers at McDonald's know the value of selling you eggs with a side order of smug self-satisfaction.
Choops and Chloe agree.
You've got to love a real egg.
But free range wasn't fair for everyone. What about all those farmers who were committed to making eggs the old-fashioned way, in a horrifying industrial hellscape, like God intended? Unable to print free range on their packaging, battery farmers instead go for alternative phrases like all natural, which sounds nice but is pure marketing bollocks. All eggs is all natural because all eggs are natural. Yeah. Same goes for phrases like farm fresh and to a lesser extent cage free. No hormones is also common, but hormones have been banned from poultry production since 1950. It's like saying they contain no fiberglass or human shit. Free range is the only one that actually means something, and even then it doesn't promise much, only that the chickens might once have seen the sun. Today, advertisers are still convinced that the best way that they can sell you eggs is by making you feel less guilty about eating them. By 2017, we even reached the sweary, ironic stage of placating humanity's egg-based guilt.
Cage-free? Oh, I've been eating up that bullshit for years. I fed that bullshit to my loved ones. But with Vital Farms, my recipes are more popular than ever.
That's good.
Fuck yeah. Try our eggs, you looking mother. And if you don't, I'm gonna ram one up your and you'll shit them out all over your balls. But there is at least one recent campaign from the egg farmers of Ontario who understand the simple joy of their product.
Eggs? For dinner?
Yeah, I thought we would try something new.
That's weird.
It's not weird. Your pants are weird.
Like the incredible edible egg campaign before it, these guys know that eggs don't need to oversell themselves. Eggs don't need to be exciting, ethical, or feature celebrity cameos. They just need to be themselves. They need to be an egg. The simple, yet incredibly versatile egg. Satisfying to make and delicious to eat. Whether you beat them off, jerk them raw, or blow your beans into them, eggs are a magical ingredient found in every truly great breakfast. From the velvety sophistication of the Eggs Benedict to the greasy delights of the full English. Some are made from Fabergé, others are made from billionaire head meat, and we all know the best ones are drawn by Studio Ghibli.
They're also one of the only nutritional sources of vitamin D. That's what you get from the sun.
They're like a little oval of sunshine that you can also toss at people who disagree with you. Honestly, we could all do with an egg in these trying times. Egg, bean egg, I like my eggs with beans.
Draw love hearts in it.
Gotta eat those eggs with beans. Beans and eggs and harmony. I just want my eggs with beans. This started as a 2-second sight gag. Now I'm cooking eggs with beans.